Welcome to Sagar Reads, a place where stories meet wisdom. Here I share powerful tales, timeless lessons, and motivational insights that inspire us to think deeper and live better. If you love exploring ideas that can change your perspective, you are in the right place. Let's begin today's journey together. So today's title: Connect the dots. How life's random moments shapes your destiny. Okay, so let me tell you the first introduction. Have you ever wondered why certain things happen in your life? The failures, the rejections, or the unexpected turns. At that moment, they feel painful and meaningless. But year later, when you look back, you realize every single moment had a lesson, every dot connected. This is a story about how sometimes life's most confusing chapters turn out to be the most important ones if only we have faith in the process. So, chapter 1: The Beginning, the Uncertain Dreamer. Once there was a boy named Arjun. He was smart, curious, and full of dreams, but also deeply confused. He didn't know what he truly wanted in life. His parents wanted him to be an engineer, but his heart leaned toward art and storytelling. He followed the safe path, got into the college, and studied day and night. But somewhere inside, he felt lost, like he was living someone else's life. He often asked himself, "What's the point of all this?" So one day, he failed an important exam. His first real failure. His first real failure. He felt like his life was over, but that failure did something strange. It freed him, it gave him time to explore other things. He started drawing again, he started reading about designing, psychology, and communication. He didn't know it yet, but that failures was taught. So, in his story, so let's continue with that same story. When nothing makes sense. After graduating, Arjun couldn't find a job. He applied everywhere, no replies. Friend moved on with the jobs and relationships. He stayed in his small room, sketching, reading, and trying to figure out life. One night, scrolling on YouTube, he came across a video about storytelling and designing thinking. He watched it for hours. It felt like a spark, like someone whispered, "This is what you are meant to do." He decided to learn design online. He didn't know where it would lead. He freelanced or for small businesses, earning just enough to survive. He was still uncertain, but for this first time he felt alive. But then another failure came. A big project he worked on for months got rejected. He felt crashed again. He thought maybe I'm not good enough. But what he didn't realize, that project was preparing him for something bigger. That was dot two. Let me tell you another story with the same man connecting the first few doors. A few months later, Arjun saw a job posting at a startup. They needed a designer who could also write and communicate ideas well. He applied using the same rejected project as his portfolio. To his surprise, he got the job. At the interview, the founder told him, "You think differently, not like other designers. You tell stories with your work." That moment changed everything. All those nights he doubted himself, every late hours he spent reading and creating suddenly made sense. He realized that nothing was wasted. He wasn't behind, he was simply being prepared. So let's continue with chapter 4: When Faith is Tested, with the same person, Arjun. He said, "Life went well for a while until it didn't. The startup shut down during an economic crash. Once again, Arjun found himself jobless. This time, however, something was different. He didn't panic. He trusted the dot. He started his own small design studio with two friends. They being with small projects, posters, websites, branding. Clients loved their storytelling approach. Month later, one of his early clients recommended him to a big company. That opportunity changed his entire life. He built his he built his dream not because he had everything figured out, but because he kept moving when nothing made sense. So this is the thought 3, the moment of faith. Let me tell you, next part of the topic would be when everything connects. Same Arjun story. Arjun said, year later, Arjun was invited to give a talk to his old college. Standing on that stage, he looked back at the path behind him, the failures, the confusion, the restless night, and realized every single one of them had to happen. If he hadn't failed that exam, he would never explore design. If his first project hadn't been rejected, he wouldn't have had a portfolio. If his startup hadn't shut down, he wouldn't have started his own business. Everything connected, every dot had a meaning. So the final conclusion that what the Arjun want to say to you guys. So you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backward. That also Steve Jobs said. So you must trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. Trust your gut, follow your curiosity, don't fear detours. They often lead to your destiny, because one day when you look back you will realize every rejection, every heartbreak, every failure was just a dot in the masterpiece of your life. So you are not lost. I just this is my own point that you are not lost. You are just in the middle of your dots. Keep going. Some days it will all make sense. Thank you so much, guys. If you love and if you listen very carefully, you learn. I believe that you learned the good things, good insights from that audio, right? So thank you so much for listening to me. And if you really love it, please subscribe and like the button for the more latest update. Thank you so much.